The average American pays 30% of their income in taxes every single year. Elon Musk paid a true tax rate of 3%. Same country, same tax code, completely different rules. You will understand exactly how debt, not income, is the real currency of the ultra-wealthy. Picture this. You are starting a business. You have a great idea, a solid plan, energy and ambition, but you do not have the money to start it. So you borrow from someone who does. You promise to pay them back with a little extra on top. That extra is called interest. Simple enough. Most people understand debt at this level. The credit card, the car loan, the mortgage. You borrow money. You pay it back. You pay more than you borrowed. The bank wins. You learned that debt is the enemy. Something to be avoided. Something to be ashamed of. And for most people operating in the traditional financial system, that is completely true. For them, debt is a trap. But here is what nobody taught you, for the people who understand the real rules of money. Debt is not a trap. Debt is a tool. And the difference between those two things is the difference between building wealth and spending your entire life working for people who already have it. The United States tax code does not tax debt. Loan proceeds are not classified as income. This means that if you borrow $1 million, you owe $0 in tax on that $1 million. Not deferred, not reduced, zero. Now compare that to what happens when you earn $1 million the traditional way. As a W-2 employee earning $1 million per year, after federal income tax, state tax, Social Security and Medicare, you walk away with approximately $530,000. The government takes nearly half before you see a single dollar of it. The strategy has 3 steps, and the first step is so simple it almost feels insulting. Buy assets that appreciate. That is it. Stocks in companies you believe in. Real estate in markets with strong demand. Ownership stakes in private businesses. The goal is not to earn income from these assets. The goal is to own things that grow in value over time without triggering a tax event. In the United States, an asset that increases in value is not taxed until you sell it. If you buy $100,000 worth of Tesla stock and it grows to $1 million, you owe zero tax on that $900,000 gain because you have not sold it. The gain exists on paper. The wealth is real. The wealthy accumulate assets not because they are planning to sell them. They accumulate assets because the growth is invisible to the tax system. While your paycheck gets taxed before you even receive it, their net worth compounds completely untouched. Here is where the system becomes genuinely shocking. Once the wealthy have accumulated significant assets, they face a problem. So what do instead? They borrow. Using their stock portfolio or real estate as collateral, they go to a bank, usually a private investment bank like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, and they take out a loan. This is called a securities-backed line of credit, and the terms are extraordinary. Interest rates as low as 1 to 3%, no required monthly payments in many cases, no tax on the loan proceeds. And here is the part that makes this so powerful. While they are living off borrowed money, their assets continue to appreciate. Elon Musk borrowed billions against his Tesla shares to fund his purchase of Twitter. Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, has pledged more than $30 billion of his stock as collateral for loans. He takes no traditional salary. He borrows instead. The math makes this obvious. If your stock is growing at 10% per year and you can borrow against it at 2% interest, you are effectively getting paid 8% per year to not sell your stock. While you pay taxes on every dollar you earn, they pay 2% interest on money that costs them nothing in tax. That is not a loophole. That is the system working exactly as designed. The third step is the most important and the most uncomfortable to talk about. When someone who has executed this strategy dies, their assets pass to their heirs with what is called a stepped-up cost basis. Here is what that means in plain English. Say Elon Musk bought Tesla stock for $1 per share in the early days. Today, that stock is worth hundreds of dollars per share. The gain on that stock, the difference between what he paid and what it is worth now, would normally be subject to capital gains tax when sold. But under current U.S. tax law, when those shares pass to his heirs at death, the cost basis resets to the value at the time of death. The entire lifetime of gains, decades of appreciation, is wiped clean. His heirs can sell those shares immediately and pay zero capital gains tax on the difference. Zero. And what about the debt? The outstanding loans are settled from the estate. The assets are sold at the new stepped-up basis to pay them off. No capital gains tax on the sale. The debt is cleared. The remaining wealth passes to the next generation. The cycle begins again. Buy, borrow, die. 3 steps, 3 legal provisions of the U.S. tax code. In 2021, ProPublica published an investigation revealing that the 25 wealthiest Americans paid an average true tax rate of just 3.4% on the growth of their wealth between 2014 and 2018. The average American household pays approximately 14%. The same country, the same tax code, a 10.6% gap. Not because the wealthy are cheating, because they understand something about how money and debt and tax law actually interact that most people are never taught. This is not a secret. It is not illegal. It is written into the tax code of the United States in plain language. The only thing that separates the people who use it from the people who pay for it is knowledge. This channel exists to close that gap. Subscribe if you want to understand money before the system decides your worth.